According to the National Electrical Code, Article 680.41a, outdoor spas installed indoors in a pool house require disconnect means that comply with Article 680.43. A disconnect means is a device that disconnects all conductors of a circuit from the power supply. It is required to allow for safe maintenance and servicing of electrical equipment. The disconnect means must be accessible from outside the pool house. The disconnect means must be clearly visible and accessible without entering the pool house. The disconnect means must be rated for the ampacity of the circuit supplying the indoor spa. The disconnect means must provide overcurrent protection for the circuit. There are some exceptions. 1. If the pool house is less than 1,000 square feet and contains only the indoor spa, the disconnect means may be located inside the pool house. 2. If the indoor spa is part of a combination unit that also includes a sauna or other equipment, the disconnect means may be located on the equipment itself. If the pool house contains multiple amenities, including a pool, bar, sauna, and an indoor spa, then the National Electrical Code requires that the disconnect means for the indoor spa be accessible from outside the pool house. It is recommended to install a disconnect means that complies with the National Electrical Code requirements. Ensure that the disconnect means is accessible from outside the pool house and is clearly visible. Consider using a combination disconnect means that provides protection for all of the electrical circuits in the pool house. The purpose of a disconnect means is to completely isolate the electrical circuit feeding the spa from the power source. This is crucial for safety during maintenance, repairs, or in emergency situations. By cutting off all power to the spa, the risk of electrical shock is significantly reduced. The disconnect means should be readily accessible to anyone who might need to shut off power to the spa, especially in an emergency. Accessibility from outside the pool house ensures that someone doesn't have to enter the potentially hazardous environment of the pool house to disconnect the power. Visibility is another important factor. The disconnect means should be clearly visible so that it can be easily located and operated. This is especially important in emergency situations where quick action is required. The disconnect means must be rated for the ampacity of the circuit supplying the indoor spa. Ampacity refers to the current carrying capacity of the circuit. The disconnect means must be able to handle the maximum current that the spa is likely to draw. This prevents the disconnect means from overheating or failing, which could create a fire hazard. Overcurrent protection is another critical requirement. The disconnect means must provide overcurrent protection for the circuit, typically in the form of a circuit breaker or fuses. Overcurrent protection devices are designed to trip or blow if the current in the circuit exceeds a safe level. This protects the spa and the electrical system from damage caused by overloads or short circuits. While the general rule requires the disconnect means to be located outside the pool house, there are two exceptions. The first exception applies to small pool houses that are less than 1,000 square feet and contain only the indoor spa. In these cases, the disconnect means may be located inside the pool house. This exception is based on the assumption that in a small, simple pool house, the risk of electrical hazards is lower, and it is acceptable to have the disconnect means located inside. The second exception applies to indoor spas that are part of a combination unit that also includes a sauna or other equipment. In these cases, the disconnect means may be located on the equipment itself. This exception is based on the assumption that the equipment manufacturer has designed the unit to be safe and that the disconnect means is readily accessible on the equipment. When planning the electrical installation for an indoor spa in a pool house, it is essential to carefully consider all of these requirements. Consult with a qualified electrician to ensure that the installation complies with the National Electrical Code and all local codes and regulations. Proper installation and maintenance of the electrical system are crucial for ensuring the safety of the spa and its users. Ignoring these requirements can lead to serious consequences, including electrical shock, fire, and property damage. The disconnect means should be installed in a location where it is not likely to be accidentally damaged or tampered with. It should also be protected from the weather, especially if it is located outdoors. Regular inspection and maintenance of the disconnect means are essential to ensure that it is functioning properly. The disconnect means should be tested periodically to verify that it is able to disconnect the power to the spa. If any problems are detected, they should be corrected immediately. The National Electrical Code is a comprehensive set of standards for electrical installations. It is updated regularly to reflect changes in technology and best practices. It is important to stay up to date on the latest requirements of the National Electrical Code to ensure that electrical installations are safe and compliant. Understanding the specific requirements for disconnect means in pool houses is crucial for ensuring the safety of those using the spa and the surrounding area. By following the National Electrical Code guidelines and working with qualified professionals, potential electrical hazards can be minimized, creating a safer and more enjoyable environment. Remember to always prioritize safety when dealing with electrical systems, and never hesitate to seek expert advice when needed. The correct installation and maintenance of disconnects are essential for protecting people and property from electrical hazards. Consider the type of disconnect. You can use a circuit breaker in a weatherproof enclosure or a fused disconnect switch. The choice depends on the specific application and local codes. Ensure the disconnect is properly labeled. Clearly mark the disconnect to indicate which spa it controls. This is crucial for quick identification during emergencies or maintenance. Regularly inspect the disconnect for any signs of damage or corrosion. Replace any damaged components immediately to maintain safety and functionality. Keep the area around the disconnect clear of obstructions. This ensures easy access in case of an emergency. Educate all users of the spa about the location and operation of the disconnect. This empowers them to quickly shut off power in case of an emergency. Follow all local electrical codes and regulations in addition to the National Electrical Code requirements. Local codes may have additional requirements or restrictions. Obtain all necessary permits before starting any electrical work. This ensures that the work is inspected and approved by local authorities. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician to install and maintain the disconnect. Electricity can be dangerous, and it is best to leave the work to professionals if you are not properly trained. Always disconnect the power to the spa before performing any maintenance or repairs. This prevents accidental electrical shock. Use appropriate personal protective equipment, such as insulated gloves and eye protection, when working with electricity. This minimizes the risk of injury. Double-check all connections to ensure they are tight and secure. Loose connections can cause overheating and electrical hazards. Test the disconnect after installation or maintenance to ensure it is working properly. This verifies that it can effectively disconnect the power to the spa. Keep a record of all electrical work performed on the spa, including the installation and maintenance of the disconnect. This helps with troubleshooting and future maintenance. The disconnect means should be installed in a location that is easily accessible even in wet or slippery conditions. This is especially important in pool house environments where water is present. Consider using a ground fault circuit interrupter (GFCI) protected circuit for the spa. A GFCI can detect ground faults and quickly shut off power to prevent electrical shock. This adds an extra layer of safety. Be aware of the potential for corrosion in pool house environments. Use corrosion-resistant materials for the disconnect in all electrical connections. This extends the lifespan of the equipment and reduces the risk of electrical hazards. If the spa is used frequently, consider installing a maintenance switch that allows you to disconnect power to the spa without shutting off power to other equipment in the pool house. This can be useful for performing minor maintenance tasks. Consider using a wireless remote control for the disconnect. This allows you to shut off power to the spa from a distance, which can be useful in emergency situations. However, be sure to use a reliable and secure wireless system to prevent accidental disconnection. If you are installing a new spa, choose a model that has a built-in disconnect switch. This simplifies the installation process and ensures that the disconnect is properly integrated with the spa. The disconnect means should be installed in a location where it is not likely to be obstructed by furniture or other objects. This ensures easy access in case of an emergency. Regularly inspect the disconnect for any signs of wear and tear. Replace any worn or damaged components immediately. Keep the disconnect clean and free of debris. This prevents it from malfunctioning and ensures that it operates properly. If the spot is located in an area that is prone to flooding, consider installing the disconnect above the flood level. This protects it from water damage and ensures that it remains functional. The disconnect means should be installed in a location that is well lit. This makes it easier to see and operate, especially in low light conditions. If you are unsure about any aspect of the electrical installation, consult with a qualified electrical inspector. They can provide guidance and ensure that the installation complies with all applicable codes and regulations. Remember, electrical safety is paramount. Always take precautions to protect yourself and others from electrical hazards. By following these guidelines and working with qualified professionals, you can ensure that your indoor spa in a pool house is safe and compliant with all applicable codes and regulations. Understanding these requirements is an investment in safety and peace of mind.